August 28th, 2023 at 12:38 p.m. Eastern Time, USA. I'm Mitch Miller. This is my video journal. So the update I got during the last video on Dolly, she was taken by ambulance out of here yesterday evening. I want to say she might be in her 90s. The update I got is that they did find a small fracture in her hip last night. Her son updated me that there were no fractures, but she had a little pneumonia. Now they found a fracture, so she's at Allegheny General Hospital on the north side. As my neighbor Dan said, when you get a broken hip at that age, it's usually downhill after that. So, and there's her son now. I just texted him back. So that's not great news. Josh's grandmother might pass soon. I hope she recovers. She's been a great neighbor. And on that note, I do need to finish siding the side of her house. I don't know what the situation is. I don't really want to climb these high ladders again, but if I can get a hold of Todd Steeder to come down and help finish it. One thing, if I was funded with some money, the first thing I would do is probably pay an outside contractor to finish that side of the house, so I don't have to climb the ladders and get it sealed up, and just it would be a donation to her being a great neighbor. Now I do shovel her walk in the winter, and in response we usually park in front of her house. But that needs to get wrapped up, and I'm not sure how payment's going to work. I would have to pay Todd $500, my dad $250. I could volunteer my time. I'd have to rent a pick. All that money's going to come from somewhere, and the last time I checked, Dolly wasn't able to access her funds because PNC Bank went to an all-tellerless system, and they charge a fee if you withdraw your money through a teller. Now her son works at PNC Bank, but I don't know what the situation is. Anyhow, the other thing I wanted to talk about is I was on the phone with my insurance agent. His computer glitched, and I told him I have that effect on computers. And I told him a story about how when we were leaving Switzerland, the Lufthansa associate input my driver's license into her computer system, and the computer system reset or crashed, and she had to reset it. So that airline's computer system glitched the ground computer system. Then I'm searching through Twitter, and in my feed is an article about how the UK air traffic control system has a patchy glitch issue over there today, stranding thousands of passengers on a busy holiday. Now these types of coincidences happen more and more often because our machines are quite literally listening to us, and they can affect the algorithms that show us information on our social media and things like that. It's not a coincidence like the one I've displayed on my website, where there's a newspaper and a broadcast television show, things that would be very difficult to manipulate on a large basis like that. But it brings special note, and I feel like I should bring this up again. My spouse is heading to South Korea. I could stay in her hotel room for free. I could visit with my friend in South Korea. Now, I wouldn't spend if I was granted $100K, that would be earmarked for the state capital tour. Basically, I don't want to justify the wealthy and uber wealthy and even the middle class flying around in their airplanes, and while the rest of us working class can't afford to go on an like my first trip on an airplane was spring break, my junior year of college. That was my first trip on a jet airplane. right? But I would get on a plane to South Korea for those few people that save up and do take a trip that are working class or go back to see family, things like that. Now, I've argued that I'm a person of interest. Some people may say that makes me important. Other people might say he's delusional and insane. I feel like if I did get on a airplane to South Korea, it could justify the air traffic control system there, solidify it, probably protect it to some degree from glitches and breakdowns. And so here's where we're at, right? If Korean Air gave me a free first class ticket to fly approximately the same dates as my spouse so I could stay in that hotel room, South Korea would get the USB drive and the TV to protect our privacy in the hotel room, so these videos would be able to be hacked by South Korea in our hotel room. In addition, I would check to see if my Cricket wireless plan would allow me to have an international plan that would work in South Korea, so that this iPhone SE would be on their mobile network, so that I could call my friend Bruckert and coordinate with him to visit multiple times during that trip. And as an added bonus, for the first time, I would go into this Apple iPhone SE and set up fingerprint identification while on the wireless network in South Korea. So my biometric fingerprint would be set up on the Apple software for the first time officially. Now, they may have hacked my phone and collected that information without my official acknowledgement of it and officially setting it up in the phone, but that'll be set up so that Apple would have the software reference point that could possibly go into other countries and validate their biometric systems and hopefully solve more crime, more violent crime, and make the world a safer place, because my fingerprint is floating around on software in South Korea. And when I got back to the United States, it would be a reference point here. Now, I'm not going to set this up. I'm fine with my 4-digit PIN indefinitely on this phone because I don't have any vital accounts like bank accounts set up on it. But I did notice if I do get the Clarion County Bank set up, it does use Apple fingerprint identification to protect your account. So I'm hesitating to set up online banking. It doesn't look like it's easy to set up. And I'm of the school of thought that if you never sign up to the online banking, your bank account's secure because you only check it through an ATM or a teller. But who knows where that goes? I might end up setting it up for this bank account. We'll see. I might only access it from the laptop and not ever hook it up to this iPhone SE. I thought it was going to be easy to do. It's proven to be more difficult. So that's what Korea gets. South Korea gets if their government talks to the Korean Airlines and they find that it's important for me to come with my spouse. We would be on separate flights, so you would have 2 separate planes entering that airspace, validating that air traffic control system. One United, one Korean Air, right? So I don't necessarily need a Polaris, a $20,000 ticket. but some leg room, first class, business class, whatever that is, would be nice. So I just wanted to put that out there. What else did I want to talk about in this brief? I think that's it. We're going to buy a television. We now have a vehicle large enough to accommodate safely a television. So possibly this weekend, in the near future, I will be purchasing a Westinghouse Roku television from Walmart. We're going with Westinghouse this time because of their connection to the nuclear industry. And we'll set that up in the living room, plug it into the internet. She'll sign into her streaming accounts. Hopefully we can get Euronews again and Reuters. We'll hook up the antenna. And the TCL smart television will go down to the basement with USB connected with some of these videos on it, and I'll plug it into the internet down there until the new year, when I work on the TCL smart television to see if I can replace some parts within it to get it back to working order. Right, we're tracking our right to repair, and I noticed that Apple has reversed its policy on right to repair. Finally, they're going to let people repair their phones and take the batteries out of their phones, which we should have never allowed this to happen. So that's all I have for today. Join me possibly tomorrow when I talk about something else. Thanks for watching, and I wish you peace, prosperity, and homeostasis.